All right. So when you write about this, one way people find it's difficult, they don't know what to write. So you can just think about your activities for the day. Let's say wake up, right? So wake up, I'm sure most of us will not wake up feel angry, right? When you wake up, you must have something in your mind. Are you happy? Are you not happy? Let's say on that day, let's say in the morning when you wake up, this is to train you to be very mindful when you wake up. So when you wake up, how you feel? For me, when I wake up, my first thought is go, go to the kitchen. Okay, so I must make sure there's enough food for the dog to eat. So my first thought is prepare or make sure the dog got food. That's my first. So what is the thought that I have? What do you think? Is it karuna or metta? Anybody?
Metta.
Metta, metta and karuna. So actually, you can write two. No need to be so stingy lah. Stingy means that okay, only one event is only one place. All right. So for example, I make sure dogs got food to eat. Okay. So you can say make sure, or you can write the same thing also. Make sure dogs got food to eat, and then may the dogs do not look at me with hungry face. I mean, you can make it, it kind of like jokes. I mean, it's true, no? Every time I look at them, they look at me. The dogs are actually very expressive also because we have dogs many years already, have different dogs. So I can read the dog's language. I mean, of course, the dog don't talk to us, but the way they look at you. One time, the Sayaji Agawati, she said, one day she was feeling sick, so she didn't came down. So one day she came down. So there was one dog, called Brownie, already passed away. The dog look at the plate and then look at her. The dog look at the plate again, look at her. Then whoo, make a sound. You know what's the meaning of that? It's complaining the food not good. Okay. But actually, I mean, that's why I'm very afraid the dog will come and look at me with the hungry face, right? Right. So yeah, you can let it and after that upeka. All right, morning. Okay. So after I prepare, make sure the dog got food. So I let go and then go to meditation place. Okay. So this is already I let go my task because I fulfill my task. Okay. I fulfill my task, so I need to let go and continue to go my meditation place. Right. Now, let's say if I don't have happiness, we can just skip it. All right. Now, after morning, let's say in the morning, what will happen? Like morning means about maybe after you can say breakfast time um or around breakfast time or whatever. Now we just adopted a 7 years old girl. Now she ordained as a small Sally. She's very cute, of course, 7 years old. So I made sure she got food to eat. And then when she can eat everything, because her mother also trained her. She's from single parents. Her father is an alcoholic. And then the mother let her stay here. So the mother trained her that whatever people give you the food you must eat. So I see my small girl eats all the food. So I'm happy. Okay. So because children are very fussy, right? So rejoicing that. Now, that's how we train the Brahma Vihara. We train the mind to, even though we are putting like column like this, but actually we train the mind to look at, let's say mudita. I need to see more mudita. So of course, if I'm going to write, okay, like Thomas, you can write your activity. You say my small girl eat all the food. It's good, but you need to fine tune until it feel like when people read it, they say, oh, you're having mudita. Okay, Thomas? Okay, so Xiu Hong and Ka Hong. All right. So right in this way, so when people read it, they get the point instantly. So they don't need to like when I read all your homework, so-called homework, I have to think, why is it? What kind of feeling? It's like I have to guess your feeling at that time, right? Instead of you telling me your feeling, I have to guess, are you feeling happy or not? Okay. Okay. Now, so after that, so let's say if we got extra food, so give extra food to the dog, right? Because the dogs, you know the karma of the dogs are animals. Because they are born as animal, so they are subject to hunger all the time. It's their karma. Yeah. So after that, you give the food to the dogs, the animal, and this is also metta. You can also just write the same thing, and you can just write, like for example, may may the animals, like the dogs, be happy. Right? Sometimes extra food I also give to the, because overnight food we give to the fish. So even I throw the food at the fish. So that's why in my center it's a kind of like practice, no? Because I see animals all the time. Yeah. Today I see many dragonflies flying around. Okay. Now extra is what? So after we finish the duty, so we just move on. Okay. So move on. You can say move on to the next duty. Uh okay. So with a neutral mind, something like that. All right. Neutral feeling. Right. So you can just reflect, like we call it your 5 days activity. So around lunchtime, what happened? So I mean, so we can rejoice, right? When we see the food, we say it's a rejoicing on the food, okay? Because the fact that we have food to eat means our good karma, Yeah. I mean, if you are born in the famine place or in Gaza place, the fighting place, do you think you can get food to eat? You see all the Gaza news, right? And Afghanistan, recently the earthquake, when having earthquake is actually very terrible, all natural disaster. So yeah, so it train our mind to have rejoice. Now karuna, you don't have karuna. If don't have, we can just skip it. And metta. So yeah, today we are preparing for Patana chanting. So Sayaji is very busy with the guests coming out, and then the workers are coming to help her. So I help her Sayaji Agawati with some tasks. Okay. So I make sure the kitchen are clean, make sure the dog got food, and make sure the light is switched on, whatever. So this is a practice of metta, right? Okay. So may she has less worry, right? So you put like this, it's also metta and it also karuna. So we can just copy the same thing. Okay. Right? So after that, we must train the mind to be neutral. So whatever. So after that, so I have a rest, When after the lunch, after my duty, I have a rest. The fact that we can have a rest means our mind already calm down. So if we have so many activities, we cannot calm down. So our mind is too busy. Means that you cannot be letting go. So you can have a rest because what? Because I have done my duty. Okay. So next means I let go worries. Right. So this is the best way to train the mind. Okay. Okay, now evening time you can repeat. Now before sleep is actually is better you all try to do metta. Yeah. So just even a 5 minute or 1 minute thought, okay? If especially if you are in a unfamiliar place or in a jungle, whatever, so it's good to may all beings be well happy. So it's just a 5 minute or even 1 minute kind of like short thought, just kind of like this. Okay, then after that, before you fall asleep, you must let go. Okay. Right. Let's say even like today, somebody scold you, whatever. So let go the anger or hatred or whatever, right? Let's say people scold you today or whatever, or if you have extra wish or whatever. Okay. So 5 minutes just kind of like lay there. So maybe like may all beings be joyful or whatever. It's just a kind of like thoughts, that's enough. Okay. Like may all be free from danger, okay? Danger and pain or hunger. Let's say today you watch the world news. How you feel? Now, what is the world news today? Now, nowadays we talk Dharma, we have to talk about up-to-date information also. What's the world news today? Yes, any world news today? I mean, did you watch the world news? Yes, Thomas, what's the world news today?
I didn't. I honestly didn't watch today. Still, I will watch later.
Okay. How about Chai Hun? What's the world news today?
I only know the US the government officer shut down.
Okay. Shut down. So when you
Others
read
I
this,
don't know.
okay, when you read this, what is your mind? What happened in your mind?
I think it's kind of ridiculous where
Ridiculous.
they just don't agree to. I mean, they cannot come to a conclusion so that the officers can function. I feel that it's kind of
Oh,
funny lah.
okay. So among these four Brahma Vihara, which one should you do to deal with this world news? What do you think?
Actually, not concerning me. So I just find it ridiculous only lah. But maybe still got a little bit of anger feeling inside lah. Yeah lah. When you feel that it is ridiculous, meaning you're
Yeah.
actually not happy with such a thing.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's
Yes. Okay. Then actually you should do more economy, because one thing is it's easy to do more economy because it's far from Malaysia. All right. And maybe so far it will not affected Malaysian yet. Because some of the news will affect, but some of the news will not affect. Like let's say if you read about Gaza, to us actually quite far, yeah. Gaza things are war, famine, and so on. Right. So when we read the world news, one thing is especially before we fall asleep, we must learn to let go. That's why we say equanimity is actually let go especially the bad thing, like bad news or we call it not good news and so on. So then you can have a good night's sleep. Imagine your mind still worry. How can you have good night's sleep? Okay. Now you all are clear about how to write, right? Ashuho? Okay. So just think about your life event. So we are talking about your mind. So Brahma Vihara, we are talking about sublime living or noble living, how you dwell with the mind, more higher state. Okay. Like I say, okay, we can say, okay, I happy eating ice cream. I mean, this is you can rejoice with happy ice cream, but this is quite mundane. But at least you all start from the mundane things and subsequently progress to more spiritual type of value. Okay. All right, if no question, we stop here and we not stop, not stop the class. We stop this one and we go for the other lesson. Okay, I already sent the notes to you all. Now, before we do this one, so let's look at this Visuddhimagga. Right, so we already go through the ascetic, I skip it. We start with something about sila, right? So your assignment also have the sila. Now samadhi, we already mentioned the 40 types samadhi. So you can actually take some of the very good one, especially how you take the meditation subject, how you prepare the mind. So all these are very helpful, even though you don't want to do the kasina or whatever. And then the anusati, the buddhanusati and so on. And then the dead body, breathing. So this is good if you want to do breathing meditation very detailed. So in fact, Visuddhimagga is the book, as I mentioned to you before. When you read the Visuddhimagga, there's two solutions. One solution is you retire from the world and go to the jungle and practice because you're so impressed by it. Okay. Another one is when people read the Visuddhimagga, they feel that I'm not up to this at all. They feel discouraged. Okay, so since we cannot go for jungle, we should also not be discouraged, but we should take the necessary points. So, Brahma Vihara, divine abiding, and then 4 alupa we mentioned before, and nutriment we go briefly. Superpower chapter 7, okay, 7 and 8. I will skip it because first, if you want to train for supernormal power, you need to have 4th jhana. So 1st jhana, 2nd jhana, 3rd jhana, 4th jhana, or 5th jhana in Abhidhamma, when there's only Ekagata, equanimity and one-pointedness. When your mind very stable, then you can practice supernova power. It's very interesting if you want to read the story about how people practice the psychic power. All right. Yeah. And all these past life and so on. So I will skip it totally because we more focus on meditation. So I go for Panya. So today we're on the section number 3. So it will start with aggregates. Now in this chapter, on the aggregate, you can see the page 439 to 455. They are about how many? 10 pages, 15 pages. It's actually very similar to Abhidhamma points, which we already start. Some of the students study Abhidhamma on the Rupa chapter. So for those interested, you can go to my YouTube, look for the Rupa chapter. Okay, I will not go detail because they are too much to go detail. Here, 15 pages. Okay, and then the consciousness 89. You also go very detailed here. So I will touch on the 5 aggregates about the feeling, perception, kind of like different types of conscious, different types of wisdom and so on. So I will just take whatever I think is suitable. All right. So after the 5 aggregates, the next one we go for bases and elements. Right. So okay, now we can go. All right. So actually, I started this course, I think about, this guide is the second time. The first time was about, I think one and a half year ago. Right. So guideline for the whole book is under the Sila Samadhi Panya. So remember the starting, we are discussing about these verses. Sile, Pataya, Naro, Sampano. Chitam Panyacha Bawayam. Atapi Nipako Bhikkhu. So imang Vijataye Jatyanti. This one actually coming from the Samyutta. Samyutta is a connected discourses for the Devata, right? It's a discourse connected to Deva or preach the Deva. This is called Jata. Tanga, right? So the concentration was described under the heading of consciousness in the stanza. When a wise man established well in virtue, develop consciousness, there is a chitta and understanding, right? Now, concentration. Okay, a wise man, narrow, right? Narrow. Sapanyo, sa is with, okay, with knowledge. With knowledge means wise man. Right. He developed chitta. Bhavayam means develop. Chitta here refer to the samadhi. Panya refer to the wisdom. So we can take like samadhi refer to samatha practice and wisdom, panya refer to vipassana practice. All right. So after establishment on the sila, somebody should practice a samadhi and panya, samatha and vipassana. So the quality is he need to atapi. Atapi means make effort and wise. Then he can entangle from this tangle. Right. Now, so in this section of wisdom, the 5 aggregates are described following the Abhidhamma viewpoint. So if you want to understand the Visuddhimagga fully, that's why some of you cannot understand because it actually talk about Abhidhamma. But if you have studied Abhidhamma before, you will find the 5 aggregates easier to follow. All right. So now similarity and difference between Abhidhamma viewpoint and Vipassana viewpoint. Now, in Abhidhamma viewpoint, we talk about more on ultimate truth, Paramata, Dhamma. A little bit on the concept, Panyati. And Vipassana point is much more on how you practice, how you gain the knowledge. But you need to base on some facts, right? So these two discuss about knowledge. Now people ask this question, right? Because sometimes when they practice meditation, they say, do we need to know all the 89 chitta of the 52 Cetasika or the 28 rupa? Do we need to know all the numbers before we start with the Vipassana? Some say yes. If you are actually, I would say, if your mind want to know everything, so if you want to know more facts, then you feel that you need more facts, you want to practice correctly, yes. Because factual truth is important because they lead to ultimate truth. No, because in Myanmar, I think last time I told you about Sun Lun Sayadaw, he actually was illiterate. He didn't study any Dhamma, but he practiced very hard breathing meditation. Like last time I told you, he breathed very fast, until he attained Anagami. So later he became Arahant. So then he can preach Dhamma, even without study any Abhidhamma. He totally illiterate. He was not a scholar at all. But after he become enlightened, he can preach Dharma very well. This means that actually we don't need so much knowledge. We just need to know how to practice. Okay? So what we can do is middle way. We need some knowledge, some theory, and then we practice. So after you practice, then you learn some more. Then you read some more. So for example, you read the Visuddhimagga book. So now you feel you don't know anything, or you don't know, you only know something. Then you read. You read, then you practice. So after you practice, then you find that you want to know some more. Then you go and read certain pages. Okay? Then we can practice this together. Right. Okay, now for this, okay, Jen, can you read this one? Answer. Okay, wait. Okay, start from this one. Yes.
Since Vipassana meditation takes the Abhidhamma as its sole object of contemplations, Vipassana and Abhidhamma cannot be separated. And while it may not be said that one can practice Vipassana only after one has mastered the Abhidhamma, Vipassana meditation and the study of Abhidhamma remain one and the same thing. This can be no Vipassana without an understanding of mind and matter. Surely then it is not possible to separate Abhidhamma and Vipassana. Knowledge of Abhidhamma can lead to more clearness in Vipassana practice because we learn to understand what we directly experience with Vipassana. And because we know what and where the right way is and to what to pay attention, we will not lose our way or succumb to deceptions and illusions so easily. Abhidhamma knowledge combined with Vipassana insight leads to wisdom and therefore to liberation through wisdom. Panya Vimutti. In Vipassana meditation, we, for example, observe our mental states and emotion free of judgment in order to get to know them. In Abhidhamma, we analyze them individually and explain them in their conditional relations in order to eventually see them as they really are, impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not ourselves. In Vipassana meditation, we, for example, observe our mental states and emotion free of judgment in order to get to know them. In Abhidhamma, we analyze them individually and explain them in their conditional relations in order to eventually see them as they really are, impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not ourself or property, anicca, dukkha, anatta. To develop wisdom, we need to know the object of meditation. It is called soil to a tree. One needs to know nama rupa, chitta, cetasika, and rupa, 5 aggregates, rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana.
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 Vijnana. This one you have to pronounce nya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vijnana.
NY, all right? Thank you. All right. So this according to Siddhartha Sayadaw is also one of the famous Sayadaw. All right. So now when we say Abhidhamma, what is Abhidhamma? Abhidhamma will be like 5 aggregates. It gives the facts on the Namarupa, like 5 aggregates, 6 sense base, and so on. So since it takes this thing as object, so Vipassana and Abhidhamma cannot be separate. That's correct. All right. And this one is very interesting. There cannot be no Vipassana. no vipassana without understanding nama rupa, mind matter. So if you want to practice vipassana, you must know nama rupa, mind matter very well. So that means that you need to know some Abhidhamma facts. Okay. Yeah. And once you have know some Abhidhamma, then you will be clear about vipassana. So when people tell you like this, then you understand, okay, they say correctly or they say wrongly. So even you practice, you will understand that are you doing the right way or wrong way. That's important. Okay. Okay, this one I think you all can read also. Okay, now let's talk about, since today's topic about 5 aggregates. I think you all know, right? So Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. I hope you're all familiar yourself with the body. Okay, materiality, aggregate Rupa, 28. So you read on the paragraph 3580. As I say, it explains in very detail about 28. So the information on this paragraph here is exactly coming from Abhidhamma. Okay. If you never studied Abhidhamma before, you find it's actually too much. You can just skip it first. Now, feeling is on 1. Normally we say 1. Because when we say, for example, we go here, Nama Rupa. Nama Rupa, you all know, mind matter, right? Now, Chitta is 89. Okay. Cettasika, Chitta is and then you can plus with the Cettasika 52. And then Rupa is 28. That's how we say all the Abhidhamma have lots of number coming out. Now, 52 Cettasika is actually divided to these 3, right? So these 3, feeling and Sanya, feeling is a Vedana, Sanya is a perception, and formation is Sankhara. So when you put these 3 together, you will get the 52, right? And then the consciousness is 89 or 1-1. So if you want to study Abhidhamma, you have to study all the numbers in detail. But if you don't want to study so much, you just need to know what's the characteristic. So the characteristic of material is being transformed. The feeling is being felt. Or sometimes we use the word experience, right? So being experience. Perception is perceive. Formation is forming, right? There are 50 of them. And then what is consciousness? Consciousness means cognizing or knowing. Or sometimes you can use the word awareness. Okay? So this side, if you want to do Abhidhamma in detail, you have to study detail. But this side, if you don't want to study Abhidhamma in detail, you just can go for experience. Means how you perceive it in your Vipassana practice. Okay? Now, this is just introduction only. We haven't gone into. Like, for example, you perceive your body has impermanence. You can see aging. Or sometimes it's very easy for you to see the 6 sense bases and object. Like the eye see something, ear hear something, nose smell something. That's very easy. And feeling will be pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. And then there are many things, 50 of them. So greed, hatred, mindfulness, so on. And 89 or 1-1. So sometimes you just can go for something that you can know easily, like greedy mind, angry mind, hateful mind, wholesome mind, unwholesome mind, eye consciousness, ear consciousness. All right, that's in brief. Okay. Now, of course, like we say just now, if you want to know Abhidhamma, you have to read all them in very detail. So we already did the Abhidhamma. How long did we do? 1 year. Last year. Okay. I'm not going to start again. All right. So if we count the fact, 28 Rupa, 52, 89. So we got 169. 28 Rupa, 52 Cettasika, 1-1. So we got 201. So yeah, this number 20, sorry, 201. Okay. Okay. Right. I think better you read. Okay. Next student, Shu Hong, can you read the number 3?
Okay, although the state of knowing, jnana bhava, is equally present in perception, sanya, in consciousness, vijnana, and in understanding, panya. Nevertheless, perception is only the mere perceiving of an object, as say blue or yellow. It cannot bring about the penetration of its characteristics as impermanent, painful, and not self. Consciousness knows the objects as blue or yellow, and it brings about the penetration of its characteristics that it cannot bring about by endeavoring the manifestation of the supra-mundane path. Understanding knows the object in a way already stated. It brings about the penetration of the characteristics, and it brings about by endeavoring the manifestation of the path. 3 levels of knowing.
Okay. Can you read?
Different levels of knowing are sanya, vijnana, and panya. Then mere perceiving, then penetration of its characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta, manifestation of path, enlightenment. So sanya is only, perception is only mere perceiving, whether this thing is blue or yellow. Then it does not have penetration, it does not have manifestation. Whereas vijnana, which is consciousness, has mere perceiving as well as penetration. Then panya will have all 3. That means it has mere perceiving, penetration of its characteristics, and manifestation of path.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Normally, after you read, she'll ask you, do you understand or not?
I think from what I see is wisdom is still out of the 3 lah. Wisdom will allows you to not only just perceive, but also knowing the truth, the characteristics, the 3 characteristics, and leading you to enlightenment. Ultimately, wisdom is the one.
Okay, okay. Okay,
I don't
thank you.
know.
It's okay, no problem. Okay, now this one, we need to read the paragraph 3, 4, and 5. So now when we say sanya, okay, we're talking about 3 levels of knowing. Sanya is no. For example, what is sanya? Sanya means, for example, you see a coin, or you see a cup. You know this a cup is yellow color, or you look at the flower is yellow or whatever, or you see the shape is round or circle. So it just do the act of seeing something, okay, or perceiving it at the shape and so on. That's all. So it will not lead you to enlightenment. You also cannot see anicca, dukkha, anatta. Vijnana is much more powerful, and of course the panya is the best, right? Because it had these 3. So the example given here is a child, right? So I think we better read the commentary, the book. Which one? So 4.3 now. I think I can read here. Oh, yeah, somewhere here. Sorry. Okay, now it has the example of giving the sorry, let me check for a while. Where's which page now? 439. Now this on direct knowledge. Okay. Now when you read this one, so this is the chapter on aggregates, and it will start with all these question normally. What is understanding, panya, and so on. And normally you can see on 2 and 3, it's actually kind of like Pali definition, so it's not easy to read also. And okay, now start from the 3 here. So 4 is the example. Okay. Now, Chai-Hun, you can read number 4. Paragraph number 4. Chai-Hun? Not around. This one. Okay, then Thomas read. Can you see, Thomas? Yes.
Yes, that's okay, thank you. Suppose there were 3 people, a child without discretion, a villager, and a money changer, who saw a heap of coins lying on a money changer's counter. The child without discretion knows merely that the coins are figured and ornamented, long, square, or round. He does not know that they are reckoned as valuable for human use and enjoyment. And the villager knows that they are figured and ornamented, etc., and that they are reckoned as valuable for human use and enjoyment. But he does not know such distinctions as this one is genuine, this is false, this is half value. The money changer knows all those kinds, and he does so by looking at the coin and by listening to the sound of it when struck, and by smelling its smell, tasting its taste, and weighing it in his hand. And he knows that it was made in a certain village or town or city, or on a certain mountain, or by a certain master. And this may be understood as an illustration.
Okay, continue number 5. Yes.
Perception is like the child, without discretion seeing the coin, because it apprehends the mere mode of appearance of the object as blue, and so on. Consciousness is like the villager seeing the coin, because it apprehends the mode of the object as blue, etc., and because it extends further, reaching the penetration of its characteristics. Understanding is like the money changer seeing the coin, because after apprehending the mode of the object as blue, etc., and extending to the penetration of the characteristics, it extends still further, reaching the manifestation of the path. This is why the act of understanding should be understood as knowing in a particular mode, separate from the modes of perceiving and cognizing. For that is what the words "it is understanding" in the sense of act of understanding refer to.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so what we say is, when we see something, these 3 are operating, right? So not to say everything you see something, it will be same level of knowing. It also depends. Sometimes you see something, you just see the color and there's no wisdom. Or you might see something, you might understand about anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanent, suffering, and stuff, but it will not bring the enlightenment. Right. But sometimes if the mind is sharp enough, the wisdom is sharp enough, then the path will arise. So it's just the similar a child, villager, and money changer. So this means that the different levels of knowing operating all the time. Right. So we don't need to be so worried. Okay, why is it my knowledge is not at that level? There will be different level, not the same level. This is just a very general. I think there will be more than these 3 levels, but these 3 are very general. Okay. This means if you want to very detail, you must know, okay, like in Abhidhamma, we know some of the consciousness arise with wisdom, some of the consciousness arise without the wisdom, some arise with a joyful mind and with a neutral mind. Okay. Now let's read about this. So now we go for paragraph number 7. Now, understanding means wisdom. What's the characteristic? Penetrating. Individual essence, sabhava. Right? What is sabhava? For example, we say contact. Contact, the purpose of contact is just contact with things. The feeling is just to experience the object. So this is a natural characteristic of this cetasika. Okay. Right. And then the function is abolish the darkness of delusion. That's a very good one. So it manifests as non-delusion, as wisdom. And what's the proximate cause? Because of this word, one who is concentrated knows and sees clearly. So the proximate cause means that something that caused the wisdom is concentration. All right. So let us see. In 5 faculties, we also got concentration. And then in the 7 bojjhanga, we also got the concentration. So concentration leads to wisdom. Okay, now, after that, let's go for the book. So the book on 7 already. Then after that, there will be something about, here will be all the category, like 1 and 2, then 3. So all this category, I think you can read yourself. I don't think it's really helpful for us to practice so much. But if you can read, you can read, all right? So the category here, I will skip all this category. So we go for the paragraph 32. Now, what is this soil of understanding? I think this is more important because this is talking about 7 types of purification. Okay, next student. Sumita? Yes.
Yeah, good evening, Saji.
Yes.
How is it developed? Now the things classed as aggregates, bases, elements, faculties, truths, dependent origination, etc. are the soil of this understanding, and the first 2 purifications, namely purification of virtue and purification of consciousness, are its roots, while the 5 purifications, namely purification of view, purification by overcoming doubt, purification by knowledge and vision of what is the path and what is not the path, purification by knowledge and vision of the way, and purification by knowledge and vision are the trunk. Consequently, one who is perfecting this should first fortify his knowledge by learning and questioning about those things that are the soil. After he has perfected the 2 purifications that are the roots, then he can develop the 5 purifications that are the trunk. This is in brief. The detail is as follows.
Okay, thank you. All right, now. Okay, now there are some kind of like simile here. The first one is soil. It's like we call it a tree, all right? So if you want the tree to grow healthy, the soil must be good. Then there must be the roots as a base, right? Then after that, on the top, that we call the trunk. So if the tree have good soil and then the roots are strong, the roots are important, the 2 purification. Then above the trunk will be big and or strong. So after that, there will be flowers or fruits. So when we say the flowers or fruits coming out, that means that the result will be good. So soil will be the object, right? So what kind of object? So like object were 5 aggregates, bases, elements, faculty, truth, and 12 dependent origination and so on. Now, here on the top here, talk about 5 2 purifications. So I think you all heard about 7 Visuddhi, right? 7 types of purification. So these are called, I didn't write the Pali. So 7 Visuddhi. So 7 purification. So Sila, that's why the first chapter is on the morality. Sila, Then the chitta Visuddhi. Then you have the ditti. Now the ditti will be more on the get rid of the wrong view of self. Then overcome doubts and purification by knowledge of and vision of what is path and what is not path. So somebody will know what is the right path and wrong path. Purification knowledge and vision on the way. Purification knowledge and vision. Okay, now this path, now on the below, on the above, just now we're talking about the path. Okay, now this path might be talking about the supramundane path, or it might talk about the kind of like the path leading to enlightenment. This means that it's not the enlightenment yet. So it might be the path leading to enlightenment. Okay. So we can take either in two ways. If we are talking about Magga, it will be enlightenment time. But if the path leading to enlightenment, it will be like what we say here. What is path and what is not the path. And knowledge and vision of the path, of the way. Now, there's a sometimes we have different translation. We call it way or path also can. And the last one will be purification, knowledge, and vision. So this is another. I think this book, this book will talk about this also. I think we have 5 minutes break. Okay, so we rest for a while and come back later. Okay, I'll share the screen again. Yeah. Okay, now. Now this on paragraph 33 and 34. So aggregates, bases, elements, faculty, truth, dependent origination. So these are called the soil. So when we say the soil means, like mentioned above, right? For the tree to grow healthily, it needs to take the soil. If the soil is rich, it can grow strong. So also for meditator, so these are as can be taken as the object for the mind. So if the mind be able to grasp it well, so the mind can be strong. Now, what is this materiality? Now, here is use the Pali word rupana. Now, rupana means all the state whatsoever have the characteristic of being molested. Now, that's according to the Pali. Let's check the translation again because rupana has another meaning. Okay, now, sorry. Now, change is better. So instead of being molested, so another possible change is change or transform. So this is why learning the Pali is important. So because we want to understand the meaning. Because if we say that materiality means have the meaning of being molested, it sounds strange also to the mind. But materiality, the matter, or use the word matter, okay? Matter is subject to change. It's been transformed by hot and cold. That is true. Because when you'll see your body. When you feel cold, you need to wear a sweater. Okay, when you feel hot, you want to turn on the fan and aircon. So our body or rupa is subject to change. And 4 great elements, earth, water, fire, wind, also subject to change. So when you see, like I mentioned earlier on, now if you don't want to learn so much 89 chittas, 89 rupas or so ever, so just from vipassana viewpoint, if you see the body, the rupa being subject to change or being transformed, that's good enough. Like when you sit under the aircon, you feel the body is getting cold. Then when you switch off the aircon, switch off the fan, then you feel the body is getting hot. So you can see the body is changing all the time. Then after that, sweat come out, right? So there's number one here. Now, then after that, it go for all these are more on the Abhidhamma viewpoint. Primarily, Mahabhuta, then 24, Upadaya Rupa. Okay, I think it's good if we just read something out for you all to know what are in the Rupa. Okay, Brother Lee, can you read this one? 36, yes. 36, yes.
You calling me to read, right?
Yes, Brother Lee. 36.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. 36b. Derived materiality is of 24 kinds, as eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, visible datum, sound, odor, flavor, 13 familiarity, faculty, masculinity, faculty, life faculty, heart basis, bodily intimation, verbal intimation, space element, lightness of matter, mediability of matter, readiness of matter, growth of matter, continuity of matter, aging of matter, impermanence of matter, and physical nutriment.
Okay,
Come on.
thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Lim. All right. So the first one is primary materiality. All right. So Patawi Apo Tejo Wayo. So this one, I think is in Kasina we can take it as a meditation object, but here is talking about how you perceive it. So this one you can read more on the Visuddhimagga book or in the Abhidhamma book. So I will just not mention it. Now this one is something that we can see. All right. Like for example, what we can see, we can contemplate is eye, ear, nose. So this kind of some of them we can see like all these eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, so on. So this one we can see because these are 6 sense bases, 6 sense object. So easy to see. The other one like masculinity, femininity, you know, like heart base and so on. Sometimes some of them we can see, not all of them we can see. Okay. Anyway, when we contemplate the body, whatever is obvious, we just nod it. That's the thing. So to know detail, you should read Abhidhamma book or Visuddhimagga book. Now, 81 is I think better because we can see the 5 aggregates here. Okay, somebody, Sister Chai. Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Saiji.
Yes. Okay.
81.
Yes.
Among the remaining aggregates, however, whatever has the characteristic of being felt should be understood, all taken together as the feeling aggregate, and whatever has the characteristic of perceiving, all taken together as the perception aggregate, and whatever has the characteristic of forming, all taken together as the formations aggregate, and whatever has the characteristic of cognizing, all taken together as the consciousness aggregate. Herein, since the rest are easy to understand when the consciousness aggregate has been understood, we shall therefore begin with the commentary on the consciousness aggregate.
Okay, thank you very much. So just now we are talking about the matter. Rupa has a characteristic of change. Now, feeling has the characteristic of being felt or experienced, right? Then the sanya, perceiving. Then the sankara, forming. And then the consciousness, vijnana, is cognizing, knowing. All right. So we get to know them through the characteristic. Okay, now 82 will be about the consciousness. Okay, now from the 36 onwards to 81, you can see the here in Visuddhimagga is explained very detailed about what is eye, what is ear, and so on. So we just take the eye, one only. Okay. Just for you to understand about how does the Visuddhimagga explain. Okay. Now this, for example, 37 is on the eye. Now in same like Abhidhamma, whenever they explain something, they explain through the four of them, characteristic, function. Okay, 37, eye, characteristic, sensitive for the impact of visible data. This means that the purpose of our eye, what's the purpose of eye? For the when we see something, the object outside reflect into the retina for the impact, right? Characteristic is a sensitivity of primary elements originated by karma sourcing from desire to see. Right? The function is picking up an object among the visible data. Let me make it bigger. Okay. It manifested as the footing of eye consciousness. Footing means it's the source. Now, where is the eye consciousness arise? Eye consciousness arise based on the eye, the retina. So that's called the manifestation as the place origin of eye consciousness. Proximate cause is the primary elements born of karma, sourcing from desire to see. Okay, then after the eye, you could talk about ear, nose, and so on. Right. So body. Then after that, it talk about. Okay, now let's read something about. It's interesting to see. Okay, so I think paragraph 47 is interesting because it talk about something how the ancient people know what happened inside the eye. Okay, somebody read. It's long paragraph. Okay, Vera, you can read. Yes. Sorry, Vila. Yes.
Okay, good evening, Saiji.
Okay. Yes.
47. There is what is called the earth. There's what we call the eye in the world that looks like a blue lotus petal and is surrounded by black eyelashes and varied with dark and light circles. The eye sensitivity as meant here is to be found in a place in the middle of the black circle surrounded by the white circle. In that, features of the eye with its accessories, where there appears the image of the bodies of those who stand in front of it. It pervades the eye's 7 layers like oil sprinkled on 7 layers of cotton. It is assisted by the 4 primary elements whose respective functions are upholding, cohering, maturing, and moving, as a warrior prince is by 4 nurses whose functions are holding, bathing, dressing, and fanning. It is consolidated by temperature, consciousness, and nutriment. It is maintained by life. It is furnished with color, order, flavor, and etc. It is the size of mere loose head, and it duly serves both as physical basis and as door for eye consciousness and the rest of the consciousness of the cognitive series.
Okay, so after you read this one, what do you answer about this?
I got burning.
Funny. What do you think is trying to describe here?
You're talking the eye
Ah,
that looks like a blue lotus petal.
okay.
Blue
Now, why this blue lotus petal?
I think is the iris lah. The blue lotus petal, the whole
Irish.
thing, and is surrounded by the black lashes.
Okay. Okay, now the lotus petal is what shape? Is it lotus petal?
Ah,
Is it
lotus-
the kind like eye shape? Is it?
That's
sure.
why the blue lotus got how many petals? So, but this one only mention about blue lotus one petal or the many petals.
Okay, then you have to think about the flower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I think it may be talking about the shape of eye. Is look like, the leaf is look like kind of like not oval shape, right? A little bit longer, slanting, right?
one of
Kind
the
of
petal.
maybe one of the petal. Yeah, it may be like this. Okay, but another way, if we are looking at the blue maybe in Pali they call it nila. Nila is actually sometimes it's translated as a blue or brown, you know. But if talking about the people at that time, I don't think they are having the blue eyes or whatever. Yeah, maybe having the brown color. But here is actually just trying to say the shape. This might be more on the shape. And then dark and light circle. Dark and light circle means most of people will have the dark one. Irish is dark, and then the outside is white color. What is it? The white color? White and dark color, right? And the rest is what? All these are what, 7 layers or what it is. So all these are interesting how the ancient people get to know all these things, Yeah. Where the images, why is it 7 layers of oil or something like that? Okay. But I think here this part is actually talking about our 4 great elements, Patawi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. So the earth is holding. The water is like cohering. Cohering, I think, is stickiness. And then fire is maturing. And then the wind is moving. So here is talking about 4 great elements, how they help each other. Because in we call it 28 materials, 4 is 4 great elements. 4 great elements exist in all the derivative material, the upadaya lupa. So it's like a prince. All these are similar, same also. Now this is we call it the cause of the lupa will be temperature, chitta, and nutriment. This is the cause of them. So remember when we study lupa, there are 4 causes: kama, chitta, utu, ahara. So this one. So temperature is tejo, and then chitta and nutriment. Anyway, this is just one example. When you read the Visuddhimagga, you get to know a lot of information that maybe you not read before about how they explain about the eye. Then after that, they will explain about the year, the place of the year. So this one we already study in the Abhidhamma, inside the ear hole, nose, inside the nose hole, tongue in the middle. It say actually it's a middle. Actually, I think the sensitivity should be on the. When we say sensitivity, is the place, the part of the lupa that's sensitive to the taste here. All right. After that, there will be something about sound, odor, favor, masculine, femininity, and so on. So that's how all the way. How many? Then heart base. Now, heart base hadayawatu. So here is actually say dependent on the blood. It says to be inside the heart. Okay. So this is a heart base hadayawatu. Then the vinyati and so on. So lightness, withiness, and then growth. So and so on. Then there will be impermanence, nutriment, right? This one. This one I think you all can read. Okay, let's go for this one. Okay. Okay. Now, after the 72 and 73, then this point is much more on the different classification. Some are 73, one are internal, some are called external, some are gross, some are subtle, some are near. I think I hope you all still remember Abhidhamma. So when we study, we also study what is Ajata, Bahida, what is Olalika, and so on. So all these are still Abhidhamma points. What is a visible and so on. What is a produced matter and so on. So all these are Abhidhamma. I will skip here. Okay, now 81 will be on consciousness. Okay. Okay, so we finish it. 82 will be so this one. Okay, now the main characteristic of consciousness is cognizing. Cognizing means knowing. So it cognizes friends, so that is why it's called consciousness. So after that, the Visuddhimagga, it will give the 89 chittas according to the Kama Vachara, Rupa Vachara, Arupa Vachara. So, and then supramundane. Okay. I will not go through the whole book. Right? Then let's see. Let's see something that we can practice. Now, kind of feeling, all right? So when consciousness arises, it will arise with feeling. So you have pleasure feeling, you have painful feeling, you have sometimes joy. So these are more obvious because it's to do with the feeling. Okay. Okay. Let's somebody read this one. Okay. Sim, can you read? Yeah. 1 to 5.
Okay. Now it was said above, whatever has the characteristic of being felt should be understood, all taken together as the feeling aggregates. And here too, what is said to have the characteristics of being felt is feeling itself, according as it is said. It is felt, friend, that is why it is called feeling. Herein, pressure has the characteristics of experiencing a desirable, tangible datum. Its function is to intensify associated states. It is manifested as bodily enjoyment. Its proximate cause is the body faculty. Pain has the characteristics of experiencing an undesirable, tangible datum. Its function is to whether associate states or with the associate state, it is manifested as bodily afflictions. Its proximate cause is the body faculty. Joy has the characteristic of experiencing a desirable object. Its function is to exploit it in one way or another the desirable aspect. It is manifested as mental enjoyment. Its proximate cause is tranquility. Grief has the characteristic of experiencing an undesirable object. Its function is to exploit in one way or another the undesirable aspect. It is manifested as mental afflictions. Its proximate cause is invariable the heart basis. Equanimity has the characteristics of being felt as neutral. Its function is not to intensify or wither associate state much. It is manifested as peacefulness. Its proximate cause is consciousness without happiness.
Okay. So this part is about thank you very much. It's about feeling, all right? So earlier part is about the lupa. So this part onward is about feeling. Now, normally how many types of feeling? So we can say, generally we have, in simple one, we call it 3 types of feeling, right? Means we say good or bad or neutral. So this is generally. So sometimes we can say in detail, like just now, we have 5 or 6, depends on what I say. So normally we say feeling, if you want to put the Pali, sukha, dukkha, so adukkha, masukkha, all right? Now, if you want to put detail, there will be, beside this, you plus another one, somanasa and domanasa. So the 1, 2, 8 pleasure, okay, this is same here. So this is a 3, this is also 3. So if you put together, there are 5, right? Now, pleasure is, we call it sukha. So this is good for animated. So once you have bodily enjoyment, so this is a feeling that is very obvious. So we call it sukha. And pain is called dukkha. Sukha is when you experience something, you like it, desirable object. So it's very obvious. Pain is when the mind or the body experiencing something undesirable, painful. So it manifests as bodily affliction. So this sukha and this is dukkha. Joy is sometimes we call it somanasa. Somanasa is actually mental enjoyment. Then grief is domanasa. So we call it mental affliction, right? So if you see like this, it's come to you. That means that you see that sometimes the feeling is at the bodily. So here you call it bodily, but sometimes the feeling is at the mental. So bodily and mental feeling, are they same or not same? Do you think they are same or not same?
Different, Saji.
So how do you differentiate which is the body feeling, which is the mental feeling? Is it easy to differentiate? Sometimes not easy, because let's say if ants bite you, when the ants bite you, you will have bodily affliction. All right, your body feel uncomfortable, but then you also have the mental affliction, because they will arise together, not at the same time, one after another. But sometimes it's very difficult to differentiate them. Okay, so for example, when you switch on the aircon during the hot weather, so you have bodily enjoyment. So due to the bodily enjoyment, you have mental enjoyment, because they arise quite next to each other subsequently. So you thought they might be the same thing. Okay, sometimes it's not easy to differentiate what are these joy or whatever. But normally we say there are 2 types of enjoyment. One is on the bodily side, one on the mental side. Same also with the unpleasant feeling. Okay, so when you sit down for a long time, what happened? Your body feel pain and you feel uncomfortable. You want to move, change your position, want to move your hands, move your leg, right? Why? Because you feel uncomfortable. So when you feel uncomfortable, you feel irritation, you feel a little bit angry. So imagine I going to give Dharma talk for 3 hours. You all will get very angry with me one. Definitely. So that's why after 1 hour, we need a break for you and me to stretch our legs and moving around. Okay. So these feelings are very obvious. So first one is aggregate on the lupa. Then second one is on the feeling. Feeling means Vedana. Right. So 5 aggregates what? Vedana, Rupa, Vedana, then Sanya, then Sankhara. So sometimes feeling will be compared to Rupa, there are 28 Rupas. Sometimes it's not, there are a lot, so it might be very complicated to think about what is 28. So you can just go for feeling, because feeling are actually easy. Either good feeling, bad feeling, or neutral feeling. When we talk about feeling, is very easy. Now, the feeling is sometimes we call it the characteristic of being felt, but actually we call it what is we experience. Okay, sometimes they say the feeling is like what? Like the king enjoying the food. All right, the chief cook the food very hard, but the chief cook will not enjoy the food, but they will send the food to the king, so the king will enjoy the food. So that's a example of feeling. So the feeling will enjoy the object very much. So even though like the ants bite you, yeah, you might don't like it, but actually the mind already grabs the pain. So that's why you feel it strongly. Now here, because of raining season, the ants have no place to live in the ground, right? So all the ground are full of water. Now because our place is quite low, it's a paddy field. So all the ants come to kitchen. Yeah. So every day we have to drive them away, because if we don't drive them away, we don't have even a place to cook the rice, because the ants are everywhere. So sometimes we move around, the ants by a lot. Actually, sometimes being bitten by ants more than 10 times. And then sometimes we walk in the garden. I do the cleaning. You know what happened? The leech. You all never bitten by leech before, right? Leech. 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 You bit, right? You know what is the feeling of bitten by leech? It's actually like ants, but it will suck the blood. So after it suck the blood, it will drop down. It will never drop down. We have to remove it. Sometimes it's not really painful, but it's very itchy after a while. So what we do is we use the salt. So next time when you're bitten by leech, you use the salt, rub the wound, rub the place where it bitten, then it will not be so itchy, right? So that's the feeling, The feeling is actually experience the object thoroughly. Okay, so we got pleasure feeling, we got painful feeling, we got joy, we got grief, equanimity. So if you count like this, it's like 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that's why feeling you can divide it to good, bad, neutral, or sukha, dukkha, dukkha, masukha, or somanasa or domanasa. So normally in Abhidhamma, sukha, dukkha is considered as these are bodily feeling, right? So somanasa and domanasa, as we call it, the mental feeling. Okay, this is in terms of Pali. So anyway, if you just remember pleasure, and then the pain, joy, grief, equanimity is just enough. Now, the next one will be on sanya. Okay. Sanya means perception. Now, this word perception is actually described as having the characteristic of perceiving. Sometimes we can translate that. Sometimes we call it kind of like knotting, like we call it make a knot. For example, you perceive, you're aware Like just now, where the object distinctive marks. For example, you see blue, yellow. So this mark, you recognize this mark. Sometimes it functions as memory, right? So sanya, another way to explain, it's kind of like memory, right? Where you can just have some knowing, some recognizing of things. So it's kind of like, so sometimes we call it perception. Sometimes we call it how we call it memory. In a way, it kind of like memory, right? Where you memorize. For example, you see somebody for first time, so you start to memorize the person, his look, or how he walk, or something like that. Or you see a color, a blue color, a yellow color, right? So sometimes we call it like making a knot. In making a knot in the mind. It's not kind of wisdom, but it has some kind of like knowing, right? So that's a perception. So you notice that when you see something for a first time, you see somebody, or you see something you never see before in the first time, you notice that your mind take longer. You need to take longer time to look at it, because you need to make a note, you need to memorize. Okay? Now, when you see a dog and cat, what's the difference between dog and cat? Have you considered yourself this question? Dog and cat, what is the difference between dog and cat? They're all four-legged, right? And they all got tail, right? So, Chai-Hun, what is the difference between dog and cat?
The size, the features of the face.
Okay, so
The
let's say dog and cat. Okay, now how does our sanya work? So dog and cat, which one you think is bigger? Dog is bigger, right? Okay. And then cat is smaller. So when we see dog and cat, we see from far, you know, okay, this is the dog, this is the cat, because our sanya make a knot already. Dog's supposed to be bigger, cat's supposed to be smaller. Now, the dog and cat, the tail, which one is longer? Have you considered, is the dog longer or cat longer?
cat lah.
Cat.
Cat is longer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
cat
true. Yeah, cat is longer. So it's a short tail, okay? This is a long tail. Okay, what else?
The features different lah.
Oh, okay, in terms of what? They all got,
The face you can tell is different lah.
okay, what difference? Any dog lover here?
The ear also different lah.
Okay, right. So most distinctly, the dog have the what we call it, the face is longer, right? The cat, the face round, more round, right? So we call it face in terms of it's actually longer, and then cat is a more rounder face, right? Okay, that's the perception working. It actually, when you see a dog, so that's why when a small child, when we are very small, our parents start to teach us, this is a dog, this is a cat, all right? So we start to recognize. Every time you see a dog, you no need to think it's a dog. You know already it's a dog. Every time you see a cat, you know it's a cat. Of course, from the way they walk, dog and cat, do they walk same? Not really. Okay, so yeah, anyway, I hope got more animal lover they can answer this question. I like dog, I don't really like cat. I think cat is a very not easy to cat is very pretentious, I think. Dog are more honest. All right, so that's the purpose of sanya. So in terms of animal. So let's say in terms of fruits. Okay, now you know all the fruits are shape are quite same. All the fruit will be round shape. They will be either big or small. Okay. Now think about like when we come, for example, when we stay in Myanmar for first time, yeah, a lot of things is very funny because we never see some of the fruits here. I also don't know the name. All right. Okay, one thing about in Myanmar. Okay, now in Malaysia, you drive car is on the left or on the right? When you drive car in Malaysia.
Right.
Okay, right side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Keep to the right. Okay, drive car.
Right hand
Right.
driving.
So in Myanmar is
Left hand.
on left, you know. So when I come to Myanmar, first time I don't know how to cross the road. It's true. Because the mind gets so confused. Yeah. Because when we cross the road, we will see, okay, the car is coming this side and then the car is going that side. So when it come to Myanmar, the first time when we cross the road, it takes some time to figure out, okay, should I cross now or should I not cross now? Because the perception is confused. Okay, our mind is not working at that time. We try to match what we see today and try to match what we associate in the past. So it's very confusing. That's why we say when the student learn, when you learning something, you know, when you learn something, for example, you're learning something, whatever, so you put all this to memory. So all these are adding on to your sanya. So that's why sometimes when you learn new things, is we call it you are half cup. Okay. Sometimes you learn too much, you are full cup. So half cup and full cup students are very difficult to teach. You know why? Because the moment you teach them something, they will start to compare with what they learned previously. Because the sanya is working now. Right? So recently I was telling the Sumita about you chant the Pali, chant by heart. Then Sumita tell me, no, the teacher tell her, don't chant by heart, must look at the text. Okay, Sumita, right?
Yeah, so that the pronunciation for sutta chanting is very critical.
Yeah. Then I tell Sumita,
Read.
you are half cup. Okay. Yeah. It's critical, but the purpose of we chant by heart is for us to force our mind to memorize the Pali by heart. When you chant looking at the text, your mind is not 100% active because you rely on your eye, right? But if you have to chant by heart, you have to rely more on your memory. Then you can see your sanya working. Sometimes you might mix up. For example, you chant this sutta, then you find that, how come I mix up? Because when you chant, sometimes you mix up with the chanting because the perception is confused with this chanting or the other chanting or this part of the chanting or that part of chanting. So that's a perception working. All right. So we can see perception is actually working all the time because in the 5 aggregates, it's actually part of the Chitasika. Okay, I think we go for the next one, 130. Right. Wait. Okay. This is actually now the example is like carpenter making a mark. So when people are doing cutting the wood, they cannot cut straight away. They need to make a part with pencil or whatever. Or last time they used the charcoal to make a mark. So after that they will cut it. So this is like the sanya. Now, this example is, I think, have you heard about this example? The blind who see the elephant. So it's a story, it's like one time the king want to have some fun. So he asked many blind people, he let them to see the elephant. Now, because the blind people, they cannot see elephant, so they will touch the elephant. So when they touch the elephant, some will say, oh, this is a wall. So they say, the trunk is like something. And then the leg of the elephant is like what you call it? The pillar. And then the tail of elephant is like the fan. So the king heard this story. After that, the blind, because they cannot see the elephant, they only describe the elephant according to what they know, according to their sanya. So then they quarrel with each other. So then the king, he had a good laugh. So this is just a simile given in that example. Okay. So it's like sanya is we see how things appear in our mind according to what we know. Like the last time they put a scare cow. So from far, when it move a little bit moving, it look like man. But nowadays the birds are the animals or the birds, they are very clever already. Even if you put this kind of fake human, they know already. Okay. Now, I think there's enough. So we stop here today. So I think hope that we'll continue next week. And you start to see how we use the 5 aggregates in our daily life, how we see when our rupa changes, and then the feeling, how we experience the object. And okay, any questions so far before we do the sharing of merits? Any question? Okay, so no question, we go for, I think I asked somebody to take the chanting. Okay, Chaiwon, you lead the chanting. Yeah. Where? I show this one. Okay, Kayena, all right. Asking forgiveness. So I think, wait, before you start, so I hope the rest of students who have not done the 4 Brahma Vihara homework, please try to do something like I shared today, okay? Okay, now you can start chanting already.
Asking for forgiveness. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamavi bante buri panya tathagata. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akarika. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara. By body, speech, and mind, if I have committed any wrong heedlessly, may the Buddha, who has extensive wisdom, forgive me. By body, speech, and mind, if I have committed any wrong heedlessly, may the Dhamma that is realized by oneself with immediate effect forgive me. By body, speech, and mind, if I have committed any wrong heedlessly, may the Sangha that has good practice and incomparable forgive me. Sharing merits with all beings. Imang no punya bagang sabasata ng dema. Imang no punya bagang sabasata ng dema. Imang no punya bagang sabasata ng dema. We share this merit with all beings. May they obtain this merit and be well and happy. Sharing of merits to the departed ones. Idam no nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam no nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam no nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Let this merit go to our relatives. May our relatives be happy. Namo Ditwa Chiran Rakantu Sasanang. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty powers, having rejoiced these merits, long protect the dispensation of the Buddha. Akasata cha mummata, deva naga mahidika, punyang tang anumoditwa, chiran rakantu de sanang. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty powers, having rejoiced these merits, long protect the teaching of the Buddha. Akasata cha mummata, deva naga mahidika, punyang tang anumoditwa, chiran rakantu mam paranti. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty powers, having rejoiced these merits, long protect me and others. Blessing Ayurarogya Sampati, Saga Sampati Mevacha, Ato Dibbana Sampati, Iminate Samijatu. longevity, good health, a rebirth in the heaven, and the attainment of Nibbana. May you achieve this by this merit. Blessing to the world. Devo vasatu khalina, sassa sampati hotu cha, pito bhavatu loko cha, raja bhavatu dhammiko. May the rain fall at suitable times. May the crop be abundant. May the world be prosperous. May the king be righteous. Aspiration. Ada imaya, patipadaya, jar Hotu. Indeed, by this mental training, I shall surely be free from aging, sickness, and death. By merit, may I eradicate all defilements. May my merit be conducive to the attainment of Nibbana. May my observance of morality be a condition to attain path and fruition knowledge. Imina punya kamena, mabe bala samagamo, satang samagamo hotu, yawa Nibbana patiya. By this merit that I have acquired, may I never meet foolish, wicked persons. May I meet wise and virtuous persons until I attain Nibbana, ultimate peace and happiness. Buddha sasanang chirang titatu. Buddha sasanang chirang titatu. Buddha sasanang chirang titatu. May the Buddha's dispensation teaching last long in the world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sister Chaihun. I'm happy you all can share the merits very well already. Okay. Okay, thank you. So we continue to discuss Brahma Vihara. I hope some of you managed to send the assignment in time. So if you don't mind, we will share your assignment, not assignment, your homework to the class, and then we will see. And then we continue with 5 aggregates. All right. Okay. See you on next week or tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you,
For
Saji.
the meditation class.
Thank you.
Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu. May
Thank
all
you,
good
Sadhu.
health
Thank you. Good night.
be
Thank
with
you. Good night.
you.